A high-speed, profitable construction site can come to a dead halt the second an OSHA inspector walks onto the dirt. A stop work order causes immediate financial bleeding. Operations freeze, schedules slip, and inspectors can hand down fines upwards of $161,000 for each willful or serious violation they find. Safety compliance is a rigid survival system designed to keep your crews out of body bags. We are breaking down the 7 most lethal compliance failures on construction sites, the excuses superintendents use to justify them, and the strict OSHA standards required to fix them. Cutting a safety corner to save 10 minutes is an active gamble with a worker's life and your company's survival. Our first hazard lies below ground, unprotected trenches. The most common excuse on the site is, "It's only waist deep, we'll be in and out." The dirt itself is the weapon. Just 1 cubic yard of soil weighs roughly 3,000 pounds. If those walls cave in, it hits with the force of a mid-sized car and crushes a human instantly. Under OSHA's Subpart P, trenches deeper than 5 feet require a dedicated protective system, like shoring or shielding. These systems must be inspected daily by a designated competent person who can read changing soil conditions or spot tension after a rainstorm. The second hazard is confined spaces. The trap here is sending a guy down a manhole for a quick visual inspection without taking the time to pull a permit. These environments often contain atmospheric hazards classified as IDLH, immediate danger to life or health. Invisible, toxic gases pool at the bottom of these spaces, causing silent asphyxiation before a worker even realizes they are suffocating. Subpart AA regulations require a rigid fix. You must test the air at all levels, continuously ventilate the space, and station a dedicated attendant right at the entrance. The ground is completely unforgiving. Skipping safety steps below grade guarantees an unrecoverable disaster. Above ground, our third hazard is the failure of lockout-tagout procedures. The dangerous trap here is leaving a machine energized just to clear a quick jam. All it takes is a coworker walking by and blindly flipping a switch while someone has their hands in the mechanism. The result is immediate amputation, or death. OSHA Standard 1910.147 mandates a strict 6-step zero-energy state. You have to notify affected employees, shut down the equipment, isolate the power source, apply physical locks and tags, release any stored residual energy, and physically verify that the machine is dead. This leads right into the fourth hazard, live electrical parts. The fatal mistake is assuming a breaker is off or a line is dead without testing it. Subpart S rules dictate that you assume all lines are live, mandate GFCI protection on portable tools, verify double insulation, and permanently ban frayed extension cords. You cannot see, hear, or smell potential energy. Complacency around lockout-tagout or electrical lines is playing Russian roulette with your crew. Our fifth hazard comes from gravity. The trap is stepping near an unprotected edge just for a second to grab a tool or pass material. Falls are the absolute leading cause of construction fatalities. OSHA's 6-foot rule is clear. If you are exposed to a drop of 6 feet or more, you must use personal tie-offs, guardrails, or safety nets. The sixth hazard is operating cranes near power lines. The common excuse is the operator claiming they have plenty of room to swing the boom. High-voltage electrical arcs can jump through the air. At 35,000 degrees Fahrenheit, that current will strike the crane and cook the operator, even if the metal never physically touches the wire. Standard 1926.1408 establishes a rigid 20-foot trigger rule. If any part of the equipment or load could get within 20 feet of a line, you have to implement specific clearance distances based on OSHA's Table A. Finally, the seventh hazard, airborne contaminants like silica and lead. The mistake is dismissing it as just a little concrete dust. Microscopic silica acts like tiny shards of glass. Over years of exposure, it permanently scars lung tissue, slowly suffocating workers from the inside out. Fixing this requires wet cutting methods, HEPA vacuums, and fit-tested respirators. Gravity and airborne hazards never take a day off. A single moment of lost focus up high, or breathing unprotected air over time, locks in a fatal outcome. When an OSHA inspector writes up a willful violation for a site, it establishes a brutal fact in a courtroom. It proves you identified a life-threatening hazard and intentionally chose the schedule over a life. Individual superintendents and business owners face personal criminal liability and prison time for these choices, separate from any corporate fines. As a leader, you must protect your people from themselves. Leave the trailer, walk your site, check the trenches, and trace those power cords today. For uncompromising, survival-based safety training, subscribe to the HSE Study channel.